Well, it is my pleasure to introduce the chairperson and co-chair of today's session, Professor Poornanand P. Savoykar is the chair of this session. He completed his BE and ME from Goa Engineering College and PhD from IIT Bombay. Presently, he is a professor in the Department of Civil Engineering, Goa Engineering College, India. His research interests are geotechnical earthquake engineering, alternate materials, and steel structures. He has published several papers in journals and conferences. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
Co-chair of the session, Dr. Vikas Kumar. He is presently a faculty in Civil Engineering Department at Central University of Haryana, and his research areas are soil stabilization and artificial intelligence, and he has published more than 10 papers in journals as well as in the conferences. Welcome, Dr. Vikas.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I am very honored to be a part of this conference.
Thank you. Now I hand over the session to the chairperson and co-chair for taking over.
Next talk is on effect of shape of footing on coefficient of elastic uniform compression of foundation material by C.V. Satyanarayana Reddy. C.V. Satyanarayana Reddy is presently working as a professor, Department of Civil Engineering in Andhra University. He has received his MTech Geotechnical Engineering from IIT Madras and ME Structures from Andhra University. He has completed his PhD from NIT Warangal. So presently he is also holding the chairman post of Indian Geotechnical Society Vizag chapter, and he has to his credit over 65 papers in various national and international journals and conference proceeding. So it's our proud and privilege to have Professor Satyanarayana Reddy here for delivering talk here. So welcome, Professor Satyanarayana Reddy.
Thank you, Chairman, for your kind introduction. And I thank the organizing committee for giving this opportunity to share some of our recent work with regard to effect of shape of footing on coefficient of elastic uniform compression of foundation materials. So as all of you know, coefficient of elastic uniform compression CU is an important parameter used for finding soil spring stiffness, for finding out natural frequency of foundation soil system, and for estimation of amplitude of vibration. Not only that, when you design vibrating bases or mission foundations, we will be considering different possible modes of vibration. In addition to vertical vibrations, we'll have sliding vibrations, vibrations in rocking mode, yawing mode, right, which require consideration of soil spring stiffness based on some other elastic coefficients, namely C tau, coefficient of elastic uniform shear, C5 used in rocking mode, coefficient of elastic non-uniform compression, and coming to yawing mode, we use C psi, right, coefficient of elastic non-uniform shear. So all these other three elastic coefficients are generally estimated by correlation from CU. For that, even our IS code 5249 gives a relationship. Once you know the value of CU, you can have the estimation of other, and from there you can find out what is soil spring stiffness, and you can analyze for the natural frequency of a foundation soil system for that particular mode, and you can go for estimation of amplitudes of vibration. And we can carry out design in such a way that the calculated amplitude of vibration is well within the permissible limits. So as we know, coefficient of elastic uniform compression is defined as the ratio of uniform compressive pressure transmitted from base of footing to the elastic settlement. Simply we say it as P by SC, right? So this generally will determine either from cyclic plate load test, or you can also do block vibration test. But very often people prefer cyclic plate load test because the equipment is readily available and it is easy to perform the test. And the test is generally done using spare plates. So sometimes in an industrial establishment, all the vibrating bases may not have spare foundations which are spare in shape. There can be circular bases also. So in such a case, what happens is whatever estimate of CU made based on spare plate cyclic load tests, when they are correlated using Barkham's well-established equation, Cu1 by Cu2 is equal to square root of A2 by A1, such correlation will be useful only for that particular shaped foundation. So in case you are determining Cu from spare plate test plate, spare shape test plate, and if you are using projected value for circular based one, it may end in some error in calculation of amplitude of vibration natural frequencies. And one more way of finding Cu is based on elastic constants, knowing E and mu using Barkham's equation, right? So we can calculate, but finding again elastic constants, right? Particularly calculation of mu and E, right? So they need precise testing in laboratory, and that's why the more common test that is done is cyclic plate load test. So as the value of Cu, looking at its definition itself, P by SC, under a given pressure, the elastic settlement is definitely influenced by shape of footing because of the pressure bulb. The shape of pressure bulb, if you see for square footing and circular footing, is different. So for a given pressure, we are not going to have same sort of elastic settlement in a given soil, and hence the Cu is going to be affected. So there is a need for evaluating shape factor so that we can switch from values of Cu determined for square test plates or square foundation to circular foundations. And also, industrial establishment generally will be taking place in the suburbs of cities or metropolitan areas, where you may have low-lying areas, and there lot of filling will be done. So generally, conventional fill materials will be used and compacted in layers, but due to demand and scarcity, increased demand and scarcity of conventional fill materials, people are planning to use alternate marginal soil, particularly in coastal areas. Fine sand is predominant, so efforts are being put to improve its properties, particularly to make it more resistant to possible liquefaction under saturated state. It is being stabilized by adding synthetic fibers. So in the present study, an attempt is also made to evaluate the effect of shape of footing on Cu of fiber reinforced fine sand, right? Polypropylene fiber is used from small scale cyclotest tests, because if at a site the prevailing soil is saturated clay, it is always practice to replace such saturated clayey soil with a granular fill. So if at all we are going for usage of fiber reinforced fine sand, we should also have the knowledge on how Cu changes and what are the shape effects on Cu. So the present lecture addresses all these issues. So as all of you know, the bearing capacity expression, right? If you see given by Hansen basic and adopted by our IS code, the bearing capacity, net ultimate bearing capacity expression has factors including the effect of shape of foundation. Similarly, modulus of subgrade reaction, which we determine from plate load test, right? We will be correcting it for size, shape, and depth. Similar to that, our Cu is also a stiffness indicating parameter, and the influence of shape need to be accounted for. So in the present study, we have studied the variation of Cu for square shaped test plate and circular shaped test plates in 3 different soils, namely fine sand, clay of low compressibility, and clayey sand. Right, so they are procured from sites within the Visakhapatnam city limits. Sand is collected from beach, right, Trinity Park area, and Kojo soils are procured from locations from Pedavalter area, which is closer to Andhra University. The properties of fine sand determined from laboratory tests are presented in this slide. You can see it is containing 99% of sand particles, and looking at coarse sand, medium sand, and fine sand fractions. Fine sand, right, fraction is predominant, 68%. Fines are only 1. And coming to gradation characteristics, right, Cu is 1.8, Cc is 1.2, and it got classified as poorly graded sand. And under heavy compaction conditions, the optimum moisture content was obtained as 12% with maximum dry unit weight of 17.7 kN per meter cube, and it had angle of shearing resistance of 30 degrees when tested in direct shear apparatus. CBR value, though it is determined, it is not related to our present study, so I'm not mentioning it here. So coming to the other 2 Kojo soils, one is clay of low compressibility, other one is clayey sand. You can see clay of low compressibility has fines of 84%, liquid limit 33, plastic exfol, and it has undrained cohesion of 56 kN per meter square with low angle of shearing resistance. And coming to clayey sand, it has fines of 14%, liquid limit 32, plastic exfol, and it has undrained cohesion of 16 kilopascals and angle of shear resistance of 25. So these 3 soils are chosen for carrying out for determination of coefficient of elastic uniform compression with respect to square and circular shaped test plates. As doing plate load test is laborious and time taking one. So we have made an attempt to do small scale cyclic load tests similar to cyclic plate load test in the laboratory using the loading frame, using the CBR plunger of diameter 5 centimeter, and using a square plunger made with MS plate, having the size same as that of CBR plunger. Size is 5 centimeter only. Only thing is CBR plunger is circular. The fabricated one is of square cross section. The foundation soil specimens out of the selected soils were prepared by compaction at OMCs and respective MDDs in CBR mold, and they have been soaked for 96 hours to ensure that it is completely saturated. In case of sand, though it is not required, as per practice we have done, but for Kojo soils, 4 days soaking is mandatory to ensure that soil is completely saturated. So the load test is done in 50 kilonewton self-staining loading frame. First with usage of standard CBR test plunger. So this is the one. So the load is applied on specimen. The load applied on specimen due to movement of loading platform in upward direction and making the specimen compress between proving and upward moving platform is measured with the help of a proving ring. And a surcharge plate of 5 kg is placed at the specimen surface, particularly in fine sand. Unless we confine it, its response we cannot properly get. Not only that, during soaking, unless there is some surcharge, there will be loosening of soil right near surface. For that, uniformly surcharge load of 5 kg is used. And prior to actual loading, a seating load of 7 kilonewton per meter square is applied, and then the load is applied in increments of 1/10 of selected test load. The selected test load is 200 kN per meter square and 150 kN per meter square, respectively in fine sand and Kojo soils, because these values we can take from any quotes or any literature. Presumptive bearing capacity values only are taken. Here our intention is to study the elastic response of soil. So that's why pressures of the order of expected bearing capacity in such soils is taken. At each stage of loading, unloading is done and the soil is allowed to rebound. So having the dial gauge readings initial at the end of application of loading and unloading. So with the help of the dial gauge readings, the total, that is gross settlement and the net settlements are worked out. The difference of gross and net settlements will give us the elastic settlement. And a plot is made between the applied load intensity and elastic settlement. And from the plots of load versus elastic settlement, Cu is determined as slope of the linear portion of the plot. So these are the loading plungers used. Though plunger name is used here, they are not to penetrate because the intensity of load applied is small, right? So we are not causing any shear failure during the loading. Surcharge plates, anyway, this is available with standard CBR. This is fabricated one. So synthetic fibers used are of polypropylene origin, procured from Recron. 6 mm and 12 mm length fibers are used while reinforcing fine sand with fibers. So all the properties reported here are adapted from the manufacturer sheet. So these are the load settlement plots generated from small scale cyclic load test performed on fine sand with the circular plunger, square plunger. This is with regard to small scale cyclic load test performed on clay sand with circular plunger, square plunger. This is with regard to clay of low compressibility with respect to circular plunger, square plunger. From this, as I said, plots are made between applied load intensity and elastic settlement. Since the intensity of loading selected is of the order of presumptive bearing capacities, the best fit is observed to pass through all the points, and the plot is observed to be linear almost. So using the best fit lines and taking the slope, the values of Cu are worked out in the soils under study, namely fine sand, clay sand, and clay of low compressibility. You can see that in fine sand, the value of Cu with respect to circular plate is smaller compared to square plunger. Whereas in Kojo soils, that is clay sand and CL type soil, for circular plunger, Cu value is more compared to square plunger. So if you take the ratio of values of Cu with respect to circular plunger and square plunger, the ratio is about 0.85 times. The reason for lower value of Cu for circular loading plunger is we know that the elastic modulus of sand underlying square loading plate will be higher compared to circular footing because the base area is more. So more frictional resistance will be mobilized between base of the loading plate and underlying soil, and more restrainment will be there to particles under load application, right? So because of that, there is lesser value for Cu with respect to circular shaped loading plunger. Coming to Kojo soils, as we know, even if you look in terms of bearing capacity also, for a irrespective of size of the foundation, right? The bearing capacity of soil is same, right? So for a given pressure P, if you look at the volume of soil contributing to settlement, in case of Kojo soils, more soil will be falling within pressure bulb corresponding to square plate, right? So that's why in denominator, settlement is going to be more for Kojo soils receiving load through square plunger or test plate, and hence they will have lower value of Cu. So that's why circular plate had a higher value. So the shape factor taken as ratio of Cu of circular to square is obtained as 1.2. So after this, The study is extended to evaluate the effect of addition of polypropylene fiber of 6 mm and 12 mm length in various proportions of 0.5%, 1% or 1.5% by weight of sand. And to arrive at the optimum percentage of fiber, actually direct shear tests are performed to find where angle of shear resistance is maximum. For conducting direct shear tests, we need to prepare specimens corresponding to OMC MDD condition. So heavy compaction tests are performed. And you can see with regard to a given length of fiber, as percentage fiber content increased, OMC values increased gradually and MDD values decreased. Same is the case with the 12 mm fiber length also. And you can observe that a slightly higher value of OMC is there for 12 mm fiber compared to 6 mm. And the values of MDD are slightly higher compared to the values achieved for 6 mm fiber. So the reasoning for this trend, we can say lesser OMC requirement for 6 mm is because of short length, they will get easily dispersed in soil, and right, you will have ease in compaction, and you can reach to maximum density with respect to that particular fiber. Right, coming to 12 mm length fiber, they offer better restraining of particles, and whatever compaction energy will give, that will be much more effective and results in better packing of particles. And though values are nearer, right, marginal increase is there. So that marginal increase we can attribute to restraining effect of 12 mm because of its higher aspect ratio compared to 6 mm. So looking at this table, for both 6 mm and 12 mm length fiber reinforced fine sand, the angle of shear resistance is right highest at 1%, and hence optimum fiber content is observed to be 1%. Even in literature also, people reported optimum percentage for stabilizing sands of the order of 1 to 1.5% by weight. So the small scale cyclic load tests are performed on fiber reinforced soils using 6 mm and 12 mm length for both square and circular plungers. So you can see here, so as percentage of fiber added to soil increased, the slope of pressure versus elastic settlement decreased. And the value of Cu is decreasing with increase in fiber content. You can see same trend even with circular plunger. Coming to 12 mm fiber, 12 mm fiber reinforced fine sand, also same trend. So if you look at the values here, what you can see is for a given fiber length, as fiber content increases, the values of Cu are decreasing both for square and circular. Right, and one more thing, what we can observe here is with respect to square and circular, values are not differing much. That means there is no shape effect as seen in case of fine sand. Okay, so one more thing which I have mentioned is the values of Cu are decreasing with increase in fiber content, irrespective of shape of plunger and fiber length. This we can attribute to increased elastic compression resulting from fiber replacement in fine sand. Compared to fine sand particles, polypropylene fiber is compressible. Okay. So based on this study, the conclusions which we can draw, the value of Cu for circular vibrating base or foundation can be taken as 0.8 times the value of Cu of square vibrating base or foundation. In case of Kozu soil, like clay of low compressibility and clay sand, we can say shape factor, right, to transform value of square footing to circle plate is 1.2. And for a given fiber length, the values of Cu for square and circular loaded plate, right, decrease with increase in fiber content. In case of fiber reinforced sand, there is no effect of shape. whatever values we determine for square footing, we can use for circular footing. And at 1% fiber content, the values of Cu for 6 and 12 mm fiber are decreased by 40% and 58% respectively. So these are some of the references, and based on this work, we had 2 publications, one in our Indian Geotechnical Journal and other in International Journal of Geotechnical Engineering, published by SAGS, right, Southeast Asian Geotechnical Society Journal. So those who are interested on the topic can read in detail by referring to these papers. I thank the organizing committee for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share some of our work related to coefficient of elastic uniform compression. Thank you. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to take them and try to answer.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Satyanarayana Reddy, for a very informative and interesting talk. So I request Vikas to quickly, we can take 1 or 2 questions.
Sir, there is no question in the question session. But I have, sir, one question for you, sir. Can you please, what is the effect of, you can say, aspect ratio on this Cu value? If we change the value of fiber, aspect ratio of fibers, what is the difference? What is the effect on the value of Cu we can see?
Value of Cu?
Value of Cu.
No, Cu is decreasing now, sir. A last conclusion I have shown, I think. A presentation, shall I show that? Yes. Yeah, values of Cu for 6 mm and 12 mm decreased by 40% and 58%.
Okay.
Cu means
for 6 mm and 12 mm fiber reinforced soil, but beyond this, we can, if you are using.
No, actually, sir, if you look at the interaction of for steel fiber with respect to concrete, okay, their aspect ratio plays a vital role in terms of bond. But coming to sand grains, the synthetic fiber friction mobilization is slightly working in a different manner. So actually, from the results, we have seen more reduction in value of Cu under cyclic loading for 12 mm fiber compared to 6 mm. Because dispersion of fiber is better with regard to 6 mm fiber. So it interacted in a better manner under cyclic loading. That's why lesser reduction of Cu was observed.
And is there any effect of orientation of fiber?
This is randomly oriented, sir, because we cannot keep fiber in a particular orientation. Just like our reinforcing sheets, we cannot play. It is randomly distributed fiber reinforced sand.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Satyanarayana Reddy. One small question. Any recommendations for field? Because when you apply this, I think you must have done this lab test. When you apply this in field, then how to do it practically? Because that mixing of the fibers, sir, may not happen properly. And to what depth?
Sir, actually, just like our reinforced soil bed, we replace weak soil to a depth of about B to 1.25 B.
Okay.
So there we can replace clay soil with fiber reinforced sand, and we can achieve its benefits.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much for a very informative lecture.